Hello, everyone. Welcome to LFC Red Forever channel. Today, obviously, we're going to be speaking about the Premier League and how it went in the weekend. Like the good and bad things about the league, and majority of the stuff that happened. I've heard a lot of stuff about Klopp. I've heard a lot of stuff about Salah. I heard a lot of stuff about the team, and all. We're going to speak about mostly what's happened to our team and what we're going to do next. And we're going to speak about the Premiership teams as well. Sorry, the Premier League teams as well, like Tottenham, Man United, every other team. I'll bring up some more stuff about them as well. So please let me bring in the panel. Faisal's in, Kabir's in, Attica should be back shortly. So let's do this, people. Welcome to the channel, you guys. Welcome to the channel. Cobbs, first time for you, man. Can you hear us, yeah?
Yeah, loud and clear. How's everyone doing?
All good, bro. All good, mate. I'm waiting for some more panels to come in, so we're gonna be killing it today. And I got Rob here as well. Rob, what's with the Tawanda shirt, man? You got the Tawanda going.
Tawanda, mate.
That's our camp. When we went to America, that's what we was wearing, shirts like this.
So
guys, let's speak about the Premier League. And I mean, what's happened as well. As you guys are aware, both like Man United, Liverpool have dropped points. West Ham have just won 3-0. We're fifth in the league now. A lot of people were saying Klopp ain't doing a good job and he's going to be leaving, resigning. I've heard a lot of stuff on Twitter like that. And as you guys are all aware, our team is breaking down at the moment. We're in the last basically tier of the team. Alisson came out, took out one of our defenders, and everybody's blaming the defender. It's just all this stuff is happening at the moment. Everybody's blaming everybody, but nobody's taking responsibility for what's happening. So how can we move past this? Because every time we play now, Liverpool, we're getting beat. We're getting beat, guys. So what do you guys think, Faisal? What do you think like we should do next? Because it's becoming to that point that it's scary watching Liverpool at the moment, man.
It's the usual, isn't it? Whoever's on top last season, everyone's gonna gun for them and like do whatever they can to bring them down, isn't it? So this is like everyone's enjoying what's happening to us. At the same time, the pandemic season, man, like this whole, even when we won a league, like can you imagine winning the league after 30 years and then no fans can celebrate with you? Everything adds up, man. These guys are human, man. They can't handle all this madness that's going on.
Yeah.
Some people handle it better, and maybe like teams like City adjusted to handle it better. That's why they're winning all these games. Where we're just really got a manager who hasn't even really grieved, innit?
Yeah. I saw him after the game. He was like proper red-eyed. You could see like something is not right with the poor guy.
Like, how the hell is he meant to do his job when he can't even go to his mum's funeral and stuff like that? It makes no sense. Like.
Yeah, but he came out in the press today. He looked happy. He said, "I'm not going anywhere. I don't know what this." Apparently, it's some Man United fans, Kabir, that went on Twitter and started saying like he's gonna resign, or that they made up some stuff, and then people started believing it. Like in the next couple of hours, he's gonna resign and all that stuff. It's just nonsense at the moment. Everybody wants. Obviously, they don't want him as manager as Liverpool because Liverpool will be successful again with him, and. It's just a bad one.
It's always been the case, isn't it? It's always been the case with United. They're more concerned about other teams, like how we're doing. It's like focus on yourself. All right, have a bit of banter in that, but just focus on what you're doing. Try and challenge City. Don't worry about us. It's your team, isn't it? Have passion for your team. Have a bit of banter with other teams, but just don't take it to, because this is bullying. It's malicious, isn't it? Malicious rumours.
Yeah.
It destroys people's lives.
Yeah, that's true. I totally agree. I mean, these are malicious rumours, and on top of the fact that Cobbs just had a loss in his family. I mean, it's not really good timing, is it?
Yeah, it's horrible.
We're all human beings, we're going through tough times. We don't need it even tougher, especially when he's mourning the death of his mum.
Yeah, it's silly, mate. It's silly. Shocking. I mean, everybody thinks like everything's a banter at the end of the day, and it just ruins. It ruins. the momentum of the team, you know, the morale, everything like that. If you look at our club at the moment, everything is just down. It's just, but it only takes one win. It only takes one win for us to come back, and then we'll see where we go from there. We're playing midfielders at the back, and you know the midfield actually in front of the defense ain't protecting much either, because the ones who normally do that are at the back. It's just all a mess at the moment, and I don't blame the manager. I don't blame the players. It's just it happens, and it happened to City last season. What I mean, but not many people ask questions like they ask about Liverpool, like bad champions and all that stuff. Yeah, we just got to move on from there. We just got to like get back to basics and start winning, in my opinion, anyway. So, what do you think, Atika, about what's going on, mate? Like,
let's just get to the most important point first. Who do you think would have won if there was actually a fight between Alisson and Robertson?
Yeah, of course, Alisson, man. It's a big man.
Yeah. No, yeah. Look, yeah.
Robertson would be up for the fight though. It'd be like a little scrappy dog, isn't it? Let me at him. Let me at him.
He's Scottish, isn't he? He's Scottish, isn't it? So anything could happen. No, look, I think it's not the best.
Get out the bottles.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the best timing. It's clearly not the best time for Liverpool. I think because they've had such highs over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Anyone who's had high, the media would then try and knock them down because it's a bigger story, isn't it? And Liverpool have been the highest team in the world, really, for the last 2 years.
Exactly.
And now it's a bigger story. If you said this about Liverpool 5 years ago, it wouldn't have been a big story. It's a big story now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what happens. And you know, other teams like Manchester United in the past, Ferguson and Wenger, they've managed to deal with these sort of stories. And Liverpool have to come out stronger on the other side. The players have to say, well, look, we're going to be fully behind our manager and we're going to come out stronger. Because the best managers, Ferguson and Wenger and all these guys, they've dealt with stories like this and they come back and they either rebuild the team or reshape the team, remold it. And those players come back fully behind the manager.
Exactly.
And I don't know if it's a case of now some of those players are not completely behind him, whether that's the case or not.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, you know, because we don't necessarily know exactly, but they have to come back stronger.
Do you guys think like... Go on, Rob.
I think it's just the machine. He's built a winning machine that everyone's been raving about over the last 2-3 seasons. And the cogs in the middle of the machine, your Hendersons, Fabinho's, people in the centre pulling the strings. Obviously, we haven't got that. So it's the wing backs. We've you know, Trent and Robertson. They've been crucial to our gameplay, supporting the front three, tracking back, and then you've got those two like Fabinho and Henderson. That's what their jobs was, to cover them as they went forward. That's why it works like epically. But
they're restricted now. They're restricted now, aren't they? They're restricted. They can't push us. They're not as free to go forward. They're not as free to go forward now. They know that there's always a risk now because that element of cover now isn't necessarily there for them. Anyway, the cover is still there, but it's not the same type of cover where Henderson, you know, is going to literally just do whatever he takes to make sure that space is covered. Whereas Thiago's not that type of player, a brilliant passer, obviously. But
what did you guys think about Thiago shouting at Henderson shouting at Thiago, like, and when Alisson makes a mistake, Henderson didn't even shout at him at all in 2 games. I found that pretty strange. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it when the free kick they scored from. He shouted at Thiago in such a way I couldn't believe. And then I looked at the Alisson mistake. He didn't even say a word to him. You know what I mean, how is these new players coming in disrupting the old players? Do you think like the click? You know, they got a click, don't they? Those old players. Apparently, Adam Lallana is still part of the WhatsApp group of Liverpool. So that goes to show. You know, even players that left, they're still part of the WhatsApp group. And you look at these new players coming in. Even when Jota scores, there's not a lot of celebration around him. If you look at it, not a lot of players go around him like they usually do in the old days. I got a feeling, you know, these new players. Even when Minamino was here, I don't know if you guys seen when Liverpool celebrated the winning the league. He was at the background. Like nobody was approaching him until Henderson pushed him forward. So come. You know what I mean? It should be the whole players pushing him and telling him you're part of the team. I got a feeling it's because there's new players and the old players had a click. It's affecting the team a lot. I swear to you, check it out.
That sit on the bench are like probably doing that to the new players as well. They're probably disrupting the ones that actually start every week, Saying, why am I on? Who's this guy? I'm better than him, stuff like that.
I mean, in relation to the bit you're saying where Liverpool gave away the free kick, and obviously Thiago, I mean, it wasn't the best challenge. I think someone like Henderson, he probably knows how to deal with some players, and you can't. It's not the same as shouting at one player. Some players might not react to shouting. Like Alisson might not react to shouting better, whereas someone like Thiago, who's been there, done that, and a lot more confidence, he can probably accept that shouting a lot more.
And he's a lot smaller than Alisson, so he's like, I'll pick on you.
That's true.
There's Andrew. So Andy, he says Liverpool's probably too many injuries and having to play players like Henderson at centre back. If he's in midfield, we're 10 times better. I agree. I honestly agree. I think like we do miss Henderson in the middle, but we miss Fabinho in the middle as well. Like I said in our previous stream, there's a lot of things happening in the club that's I don't agree with us buying a centre back at the end of January transfer window. I'd rather have it in the beginning, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Then we could at least set up for the rest of the season. Now it's a bit too late, and it's difficult for the rest of the players to gel. It looked like in that game in the second half, it looked like something just hit the team, and we was all over the place. They scored 3 goals in 7 minutes, guys. 7 minutes. How is that acceptable? I mean, 7 minutes, 3 goals. Yeah, Faisal, what do you think about that, man?
Yeah, look, it's like what I said last week. You guys are saying we should tuck in these new players that we brought straight into the team. I was telling you guys it's better off they load the team because they're not used to each other, and exactly what I said happened. Like, Rob, he doesn't likes to come running out these areas like that. So if that was like Phillips, he's played with him before, probably wouldn't have went for the ball.
Exactly. Right. Rob, what do you think of like the performance made by Wise, the way we performed in that game? First half, I thought we was brilliant. The second half, I don't know what I was watching, mate.
Exactly. It's a game of 2 halves, wasn't it? It's just, but we just got sloppy and then mistakes happened, and it's just, I don't think people like before, like I was saying about the machine. I just don't think people know what they're doing. They feel a bit helpless because usually you know each other's position. It's like, oh, he's going to do that. I'm okay there. And obviously having Gomez and Virgil van Dijk at the back, that's pretty much solves all the problems because everyone can get back to doing their jobs and it carries on. And then having Jota, you know, freshening things up front, it was working before like Christmas and, you know, the Christmas period, it was working because you had like the Jotas and, you know, fresh players coming in and they were performing when Bobby, Salah and Mane weren't always doing it. So, I mean, at the moment, obviously it's at the back. No one knows where they are. We haven't got a leader. All right, Henderson is our leader in the centre of the park, but at the back, Alisson, he can't do it by himself. A keeper needs that solid defender in front of him, and we haven't got that at the moment, obviously.
Yeah, it's true, mate. Attica, what do you think? Like, have you watched the full game, Attica?
Yeah, I did.
It was a game of 2 halves, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, Liverpool haven't actually been playing overall in games. Haven't been playing badly. They seem to be making either individual mistakes or mistakes that you wouldn't have expected. Going back 12 months. And it's costing them games. And I think a lot of teams have sussed out, well, if you just hang on against Liverpool, you're gonna get those, invariably going to get those moments where Liverpool are going to just give you a chance.
Yeah.
You know, like Man City, when Liverpool came back to 1-0, Man City didn't look like they were panicking at all because it was almost like, well, Liverpool are going to give us another chance, more chances here.
Yeah.
You know, and Leicester didn't look like they're panicking either. And I think Liverpool must hand it to them. And what I will say is it was probably a strange game to give Kabak his debut.
Yeah. Because
Vardy's that type of player. He doesn't do much for half an hour and then all of a sudden he'll make a sprint and you know he'll be behind you. And Leicester one of those teams where you just need to be on the ball for 90 minutes constantly. And he might have been better off coming into a game where you know, he's getting a few headers and, you know, clearing the ball and getting a bit more confidence, as opposed to playing against someone like Vardy, who, you know, after 25 minutes hasn't done anything, but then all of a sudden he just needs that one chance when Maddison's going to put the ball through or something, and he's going to get that chance. And as it turned out, sorry,
he could have scored more goals. Vardy had like plenty.
Yeah. I mean,
He's a terrier. He just works at it, runs and runs and runs. He just,
and
he never stops.
When he makes it, he's not like other strikers that like look frustrated when no one passes to him.
Yeah,
he's like,
exactly.
Doing it again.
He'll do it again. He'll keep going. That's the thing. He might not do anything for 70, 75 minutes, 80 minutes. But you need to be on the ball with him for 90 minutes. And that's why I was thinking it's a strange game for Kabak because, it's hard to get used to the pace of the Premier League straight away. And Vardy's not that type of guy who'll give you even 2 minutes of downtime, You'll have to be on the ball 90 minutes. And he'll probably got a lot of criticism for that game. But I don't necessarily think he had a bad game, but it was a really tough game to come into. And that it might set him back as well. It might set his confidence back a bit.
It's a strange old season, isn't it, guys? It's a strange old season, man. Everybody's beating everybody. Man City just got clicked and they're just running away with it. They could actually do record points of being clear of the second place this season, the way they're going at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I honestly don't think anyone's going to catch them. Man United dropped points yesterday to West Brom, like 1-1, and they will cry about a penalty. I don't even know. I didn't even think it was a penalty anyway. Maguire was crying about.
He was offside, but they didn't check the offside.
They didn't check it, yeah.
What was wrong with the VAR? What are they doing?
That looked more offside than the Leicester first goal, wasn't it? That looked when Leicester scored the free kick when that guy intervened, and they said Firmino's leg was in the way or something. That looked like more offside.
The funny thing was when Pickford absolutely decapitated Van Dijk, the first thing they checked was the offside, and they didn't bother with the red card. So they completely ignored that. Like Pickford has completely taken Van Dijk out. And they just looked at his, being like 1 inch offside. Yesterday, they spent about 5 minutes checking whether it was a penalty or not. But all they had to do was check it was offside, and they didn't have to check the penalty. It's like, what are these referees actually doing?
Man, I have no idea. Like I told you before, like I don't know what's going on with the VAR. I don't know what's going on with the linesmen. I don't know what's going on with the ref. It's all over the place, mate. I just say, just get rid of all this rubbish, man. Enough is enough, man. I've had enough, honestly. I don't know about you guys here, but I'm not enjoying football anymore. It's not honestly.
You're talking about VAR rather than the actual play. It's like we don't appreciate the good football.
And it's hard to know when to celebrate, isn't it? Sometimes you think, oh yeah, I'm going to,
makes you anxious, doesn't it? It's like, what am I doing? Oh, what's happened?
Because anything could happen, couldn't it? They could have said, someone handballed the ball about 50 yards away. You think, could there have been a foul somewhere, or could there have been a handball somewhere? It's ridiculous. And
the linesman as well. It's like never puts up his flag. Just lets it flow. It's like you might as well not have him. Just sit on your deck chair, isn't it?
It's crazy, guys. Rich Sports said, apart from Man City, no one seems to be beating them. Yeah, listen, let's talk about Tottenham out here. What happened, Attica? What exactly happened to Tottenham the other day? Please explain that to me, man.
Can I just get
were you even in the game at all?
I'll get the excuses out of the way first. Okay. So Spurs did have 120-minute game on Wednesday, and so 2-day break.
There we go.
Extra time here. So that's what I said. Get the excuses out of the way first.
Yeah.
And also one more excuse. And it's going back to VAR. Hold on. So if they're checking the penalties, if you look at it closely, Gundogan stepped on Højbjerg's ankle, and Højbjerg came in, but Gundogan stepped on his ankle, and then Gundogan went down, acting like he's injured.
Yeah.
If you watch the replay again, Gundogan went into him, and they gave a penalty. Watch it if you do get a chance. I
didn't see the game.
It's so obvious when you see it full speed, but then you watch it in slow motion. Gundogan stepped on his ankle, and then Gundogan went down, and they gave a penalty. Anyway,
didn't that happen in the Man United game once when Fernandes stepped on someone and they gave a penalty?
He fell down. He done a pirouette. Fell down, and they gave a penalty. But anyway, having said all of that, Man City were obviously far, far superior. I personally think they're gonna do a first ever domestic treble this year. I can actually see it. I think they'll probably beat Spurs in the League Cup final. I think they pretty much got the league almost sewn up. And FA Cup away to Everton. If they can get past away to Everton, they could get a favorable semi-final draw, and that would be the first ever domestic treble, which is quite an incredible feat. If anyone could do that, and who's to say they can't win the Champions League as well? I think it might be their time.
They ain't got the mentality for the.
I think Bayern Munich are favourites. And after that, who would you say after that though? I think I'd say Man City.
It's not Real Madrid, Barcelona. They're
exactly.
They're sinking ships, I think.
And I think Man City are on the way up. Man City are hitting form at the right time, and that's what I'll say.
Well, they need it. They need the Champions League. That's the main thing they need. The league.
It's Bayern Munich again. I say Bayern Munich are probably favourites. They're just superior to anyone else. But if anyone can do it in terms of beating them, I'd say only Man City can get close. But yeah, I think they're on for the domestic trouble. I think they're absolutely brilliant. They're so consistent.
I like the way they just like, they just, last season they just caved in, didn't they? They knew they couldn't catch that other team. They like Liverpool, they couldn't catch them. They knew that. But the best thing I like about them, even listen, it's Man City at the end of the day, they got money and all that stuff. The best thing I like about them is the regroup. They regrouped and they're more powerful than last season now, and they are destroying teams, guys. They're actually destroying teams. They started off with a 1-0 wins, but now they're just doing whatever they want. I mean, especially Gundogan. I can't believe he can run. I thought like that guy had no legs. Now he's running in the box and that. Yeah,
shoot, can pass, do everything.
Yeah, Rich Sports said Maguire pen appeal was offside, not a foul. So yeah, he's a Man United fan, as you can see as well. So
I'd say with Man City, it's the move. As you say, they're such a powerful team now. They're a bigger team, but the key thing with them is the movement, and this is what Liverpool had as well last year. It was different, but Liverpool didn't have as much rotation in terms of front guys dropping as well. But Man City have got it now, where anyone can play in any of those positions. Really, any of the forward guys can drop into midfield. Any of the midfield guys can drop into attack. It's like they've got almost like a front five that always just rotate, and then you just got Rodri sitting in front of the back four, but then the fullbacks push up as well. So apart from the central defenders and the defensive midfielder, everyone else is just everywhere. They can each drop back, and it's an amazing, and it's a typical Guardiola formation. And he's got them playing now how Barcelona were probably playing. With Busquets.
I don't know about you, Attica. I don't know about you guys, but I got a feeling this is his last season. If he wins it, I think he's just gonna walk away. I don't, what I mean? Like when you got the success that you want, and you don't want to go through a
Champions League.
Yeah, you don't want to go through the season like last season, do you? Again, you don't want to go through the same season as last season. So I think he just wants to finish on a high and just go. I mean, at least nobody's gonna say, "Oh, Klopp broke you," someone broke you and all that stuff. He would just go from there, wouldn't he? Really. Let's talk about Man United, guys. Yeah. Let's go down the table. Let's talk about Man United. What do you guys think? Can they do anything? Yeah. do you guys think like they could do anything to like hamper Man City after yesterday's performance?
No,
not consistent enough.
Rob,
no way.
Do you think?
No. I just think because they haven't really gone through their slump yet. I know they've had a couple of slip-up games, but they haven't. I mean, last season before, they've had a run of games where they just struggle for confidence. So I still think they've got that to come. But City just, levels above anyone else this season.
With United, the consistency is not there either. And you can say that for almost every team. But United, it doesn't look like they're going to outplay teams completely from start to finish, 0 minutes to 90 minutes. They go for periods where Pogba and Fernandes are dominating, but you always know there's kind of
there's always a chance, isn't it?
Fred and Lindelof and Maguire in the team. There's always going to be a problem there. Whereas City always looks comfortable; they never seem to panic. With United, there's going to be a panic moment where almost certainly they're going to self-destruct something. You just if teams can take advantage of that or not.
Especially this season as well, because all the lower teams, as we know, they just. The tactics are spot on. I don't think we give enough credit to all those lower managers, trying to get their team out of survival. They just, they if you look at the points picked up off at the top of the table, it's just, it's like even Sheffield United, Fulham with Scott Parker, just they're grinding away and they're actually doing well.
You say Fulham. Fulham have got like about 9 or 10 draws. Yeah, and a lot of them are against the top half of the table team. Yeah, fine. They haven't. You can say they've only had 3 wins, but the fact they've actually drawn against so many of the top teams, they did against Spurs as well. They did against Liverpool, didn't they?
Yeah,
as well. And they had some great chances against Liverpool. So you just think,
Brighton as well. Class.
Brighton actually played some really good football, but they missed so many chances.
Do you guys think that this can go on next season? Listen, I'm writing off the season. I've got no. I'm not gonna dwell on it. This season is over, guys. It's over, man. Man City is gonna run away with it. Whether we like it or not, Man City is gonna run away with it. They're gonna destroy probably the record to second place. And do you guys think if the fans come back and everybody comes back next season, it's going to be different? Is it going to be more competition? You know what I mean, they're not going to run away with it like this season if everybody comes back next season.
We're challenging them. I reckon, hands down. I think we're beaten. With our defense, with the right players fit. I think we're beaten to the title. They'll win it this season by a mile, and then we'll be back. And it would probably be like that 97, 98 point season. But I think we'll be back on form. But other teams, it's that standard, isn't it? I mean, I know we're not very good this season in the league, but it's still City and Liverpool. I think that's still the benchmark. And then you've got everyone below that. I mean, Chelsea have got the potential to be a quality team because of the players they've got. They just need that manager to make them click because they've got some scary players.
Yeah. You got to give credit to Leicester as well. Sorry about it. I didn't say that in the beginning, guys. You got to give credit to like Leicester as well. Leicester, listen, the first half was awful, but the second half, the way they came at us, listen, every team has a plan for other teams, and we're easy to catch out. I think for some reason or another, Leicester's going to finish the top 4, guys. They're that good. We've got to give them credit. They're that good, man. And I think
Brendan Rodgers is a good manager. He's a class manager. He was
That's
unlucky
what Tottenham should
for. Yeah. What's going on at Spurs?
Yeah, I think what's going on?
we kind of ducked that subject, didn't we? Yeah. I mean, if Klopp does leave, if he wants to do a swap to North London, and you can take Jose.
God, imagine Mourinho at fucking Liverpool. Oh God!
Wow. Well, imagine Mourinho at Spurs. Imagine Mourinho. I mean, 2 years ago,
he is there.
That's what I mean. 2 years ago, we would never have thought that we'd taken firstly an ex-Chelsea manager, and then someone like Jose, who completely goes against the whole philosophy of Tottenham. Tottenham. Everyone can say, Tottenham don't win enough trophies, but Tottenham have always had a philosophy that it has to be entertaining. It has to be good football. Always. You can go back to when I started supporting Spurs. I didn't start supporting Spurs because they win trophies. They had Hoddle and Waddle, and then Gascoigne, and they weren't winning trophies at the time. But I loved watching it. It was amazing. It was brilliant football. And you can go back and go through all the 90s, and Spurs have never had great teams in terms of success, but it's always been entertaining. You can't say anything. Now, this guy is so stubborn. Stubborn. And
how do you guys cope with it, Attica?
I can't. I'm struggling.
How you guys cope with it, man?
I'm struggling. I've got to say,
loves himself. Loves himself.
He does, and he's so stubborn. He's so stubborn that he won't accept that the team is struggling really, really badly.
Yeah, you look at the table. I'm trying to look at Tottenham where they are. Let me find them.
Just go somewhere near Arsenal. Just go somewhere near Arsenal. You'll see us.
Oh my God!
Got game in hand on Arsenal.
The funny thing is that if we win the game in hand, we're still only 1 point behind Liverpool. But obviously Liverpool, I think
that's crazy. Man, even Arsenal.
That's scary, isn't it?
But the funny thing is, I've been saying that for the last 3 or 4 games, and neither Liverpool nor Spurs can win a single game. So,
look at West Ham. Look at West Ham.
They're flying, aren't they? Absolutely flying.
Guys, we're in trouble. Liverpool's in trouble, man. Freaking hell. We're 6 now. Oh, that's bad.
So hold on. So
Villa and Everton can catch us. Like they got 2 games in it.
No, but look at Everton yesterday. Look at Everton yesterday. I mean, I know we're saying Fulham. Fulham actually played really well. Yeah. But Everton was shocking. I think Everton, up to the 85th minute, they had 1 touch inside the Fulham box. Wow. I couldn't believe that statistic. I didn't even notice at the time, but it was an incredible statistic. 1 touch inside the box.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Who would have thought that?
So they hardly had everything. So you can look at these games in hand. I'd much rather have the points on the board than have games in hand. Games in hand mean. You can look at Man City. Obviously, you probably think they're going to win their games in hand. Or how many words? They're on 23, so they'll be 10 points ahead of United if they win that game. Crazy. So I mean, as you said, that's pretty much.
Bloody hell. Man, Sheffield United only 11 points, man. 24 games. That's terrible, man. That is. And then they're saying Sam Allardyce is going to come back and get West Brom out. Look at the points, man.
Yeah, they won't survive.
Big Sam.
Fulham, if they win that game in hand, then they got a chance. But
Newcastle are poor, aren't they? Newcastle.
It's horrible to watch. I think. Absolutely. Oh man, I I can't watch their games. Even if Liverpool play them, I can't watch it, man. It's really bad, man.
Dire, isn't it?
And then
Burnley and Fulham, and that's the bottom three.
I can't stand Burnley, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Burnley.
Fulham
Burnley are just like Stoke, innit? It's just Stoke, innit? You're always gonna get that team like Stoke. Yeah. Remember when we was growing up, Attica? Oldham. We used to have Oldham in there. It's just like, I mean, these type of teams, they always arrive in the Premier League, man. There's no excitement about them.
Do you hate
Burnley as well?
Do you hate Burnley because they broke your Anfield record?
No, honestly, you could check my last streams. I just can't stand watching Stokes and Burnleys of this world. I can't. It's anti-football, man. It's anti-football. That's not even football.
Do you not have? I mean, I have a lot of respect for managers like Sean Dyche who literally have no budget. Yeah. You know, I think they have to work almost hand to mouth. Whatever they sell, that's what they spend.
You know, but his job can't be that hard because his target is just survival. Like, so realistically, I know what you're saying about the budget, but isn't it easier to have a target of just don't go down? Like,
yeah, but you've got your good players. You've got your good players at risk as well. If they have a good season or halfway through the season, then you've got that danger of the top sort of the table nicking your players. That must be horrible for those sort of clubs.
And also motivating players. If you to motivate your player to tell them, hold on, you know, today we're battling to get into 17th spot. Yeah, it's not you don't always. It's easier to motivate, you know, a top player to say, "Oh, look, we can go top today." But how do you motivate a player? Say, you know?
Do you guys know who actually shocks me the most in this table? It's Wolves. How did they get that like, deep? They're actually a good team. I know Jimenez.
Paul start, didn't they?
I know they haven't got the striker Jimenez.
That's their Van Dijk, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
class.
We'll have to go.
Have you seen their away kit? Their away kit is actually Portugal kit now as well.
Yeah,
it's a burgundy and grit. They are just like Portugal B team, aren't they? Just every single Portuguese player you can actually find.
Minus Ronaldo.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh man, let's check out the results, man. See what we're seeing here.
I have a lot of respect for some of those managers down there. You know, Sean Dyche and these guys. They do an incredible. I think he does an incredible.
Look at that, 2-0 away to Everton. That's against Ancelotti. Yeah,
but that was won straight everything after that game against was it Man U, the FA Cup?
I suppose. How many days rest did they have?
Oh yeah,
not long. I think same as Tottenham, innit? I think
Tottenham played on Saturday. Yeah,
you played Everton, didn't you? Though.
Yeah, we played Everton, but then Spurs had to play Saturday again, where Everton actually got to play on Sunday. But again, But that game last week against Everton, that was just ridiculous. I mean, it was completely against what Mourinho planned. But it just looks like they're not playing for him already. It's got to a stage where now everyone's just doing their own thing. And
I do not understand what you're doing with Gareth Bale, man. As soon as you brought it, I thought this makes no sense. Why
no sense at all.
So eager to
no attitude. No attitude either.
No belief, man. There's nothing.
Yeah, you don't come in and just say that. Oh, yeah, to the fans that I'm not the player that I used to be. You know, you don't say that. You'd be like, okay, I haven't got quite the pace that I did have before, but I'm going to try my hardest to, do my best for the club, something like that. You don't go in and just say, oh, my best days are behind me.
The charger.
So negative.
Sorry, guys. I didn't read the live chat. Maguire goes over pretty easily, easy a lot of the time. Maguire's just, it's just a fridge, isn't he? He's not really good, is he, man? Not flagging.
Who's that player that terrorized him? Him and Lindelof.
Yeah, I've never seen that striker before, Attica. Who was that striker from West Brom?
They've got him on loan. They brought him on loan in January. They got him on loan. So they haven't actually even signed him. Yeah, he did. I mean, going back to Bale, I just think he's come at the completely wrong time. A completely wrong manager. Bale was, everyone who knows him, Bale, they've said, even Harry Redknapp was saying, he's a very actually timid guy. And that's why he didn't fit in with the Galacticos, because he's one of those guys, he kind of needs that arm around the shoulder. He's one of those guys.
He needs a round of golf. That's what he needs.
Yeah.
Guys, what's happening? Like Rich Sports said, like what's happened to Southampton? All of a sudden, they're just like losing games and not winning as much as they usually do. They're struggling at the moment. Have they lost a lot of players, or what's happened to Southampton?
It's their manager, man. He's too emotional, isn't he? He just cries.
It's kind of strange that now, like even they're losing at home, they're not like winning at the home games anymore. From what I've seen in the last few games,
they started the season really badly. Then they went through a patch where they're actually playing really well, and then they've gone.
They were top. They were top of the league at one point.
They need to keep Ings fit to have a chance of doing all right.
They've lost their last 5 in a row. Yeah, lost their last 5 in a row. Liverpool, only Liverpool have got. So Liverpool, the only team to have the worst record for the last 3 games is Southampton and Liverpool.
Yeah, it's true, man. We listen, man. There's this season. I'm writing it off like I said in the beginning. It's really annoying to watch. I don't enjoy it, guys. I honestly don't enjoy. I can't watch it anymore. You know, guys. You guys all know me. I love football so much, but I can't watch it anymore, man.
It's better than the olden days, mate. Think about all the. Feel sorry for Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher. You know, a lot of the team, apart from that spine we had with Mascherano, Torres, Xavi Alonso. Yeah. You know, imagine what they had to put up with.
Let me ask you guys as Liverpool fans. So if you get a great result tomorrow away to Leipzig, I know it's not actually their stadium, but still away.
Budapest, isn't it? We're going.
Yeah, I mean that would change everything, wouldn't it? Surely that would change in terms of the
and then we'll go Everton over the weekend after that, straight after that, don't we?
Yeah. Like Fozzie says, it only takes a game.
It takes a game, man. That Leipzig game is huge.
Yeah.
The Leipzig game is huge. The Leipzig game is huge because Liverpool can still do something amazing. They can still do something amazing this season. I'm not saying they can definitely win the Champions League, but even if you get to semi-final stage or even the final, I think that would still.
The further we get, the more chance that we're the team to be worried about. If we get to like semis, everyone else would be worried. Yeah.
I don't even know this guy. He says I remember fans hating Maja when he left. Look at him now. Is he the guy who scored a couple of goals the other day? Who was
Fulham?
Fulham. Fulham. I don't even know. I didn't even know he was. I thought he was French. I mean, then I heard him speak. He's English. Wow. He's actually from here. He's from London, apparently.
He's born in London, but he's played in Nigeria, I think. He plays in Nigeria.
Yeah, he looked quite good, mate. The way his movements up front the other day, it was amazing, mate. It was absolutely amazing.
Chelsea winning as well now.
Crying out loud. I can't take this shit anymore, man. I thought I'm not enjoying it, guys. I'm not enjoying it anymore. What does it say? Does anyone know where the second leg against Leipzig is? It's going to be at Anfield. It's going to be at Anfield.
Yeah.
Anfield's still open. Don't worry. Yeah, we're going to play there. It can't be like somewhere else.
A few riots, but it's open.
Yeah.
So where's the first leg? Hungary.
Yeah, it's because
Budapest.
No one is coming to the country. Yeah. It's not our fault. We allow teams to come in.
So, guys, I'm going down the table, innit? So I got to talk about every team. What do you guys think of Chelsea's season so far? What do you think of the new manager? What do you think of Lampard leaving? As we tried to discuss it in the previous stream, but we couldn't do it. So, what do you guys think of Chelsea now with Tuchel? Is he the manager that's going to bring them back up on the table? Are they going to be challenging next season, probably, or are they going to be challenging top 4 this season as well? What's your thoughts, Faisal? Do you think that they're good enough?
It's
if the right manager is there.
You can actually tell, like, even the way they're playing in the last couple of games. I know it's only 2 games or 3 games, but the guy looks like he knows what he's doing compared to Lampard, doesn't it? That shows you need that experience, doesn't it? So
what do you think, Attica? What do you think, Attica?
I think with Chelsea, every time you look at the managerial situation, it's such a strange thing where Abramovich gives the manager so much money and then he doesn't trust him after a couple of months or a few months. You know, don't get me wrong, Lampard, in my opinion, was the wrong person to start with. Yeah. But then if you let him spend as much money as he did on Ziyech and Werner and Havertz, you know, these are amazing players.
Yeah, they are, man.
And you either trust that manager to actually get the best out of them, or you just don't give the money to start with. Yeah. You know, and Lampard, I think, had the philosophy that he wanted to bring some young players in, like give Abraham and Hudson-Odoi, all these guys a chance. But then when you bring Ziyech and Havertz and Werner, you have to play them, don't you? You can't give the young guys a chance.
How can you have £150 million worth of goalkeepers? I've never heard of that.
Well, no,
that's crazy, man.
No, they've actually spent 150, but they're not worth 150. They're not, those guys probably worth about 15, if anything. But Chelsea situation always baffles me. You know, Abramovich wants instant success. It will literally sack.
It's a game. It's a game for him, isn't it? He's not serious, man. The guy is just as long as he's making his money, he don't care, man.
Yeah, but I think Tuchel is a good choice now. He's proved it before. I know at PSG it was probably quite an easy job, but again, he did do a good job then. Even at Dortmund, he did a good job as well.
He's Klopp 2.0, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's read Rich's comment. People got a bit carried away after 10 games because of Villa, as Southampton and Everton were doing well. I don't know. Is it 10 teams that won top of the league at the beginning of the season? I think it's about 10 teams, isn't it? 10 teams, different teams. I think. Yeah. So I think he's right. People do get carried away, but it gets to a certain point of the season, doesn't it? Like when it goes 16, 17 games, then the top teams run away with it. But this season, nobody is running away with it apart from City, man. And they ain't stopping. They started badly as well. Don't get me wrong. They did start pretty bad. They did start pretty bad. But once they got their act together, and especially obviously beating the big teams along the way, they can't be stopped, guys. They can't be stopped. And
that's a good time to have the bad spell at the start of the season. I think they've planned it right.
Yeah,
I think they saw how Leicester played against them when Leicester scored 5. Leicester won 5-10. They saw that and they thought, hold on, other teams are going to try this as well. And straight away, he kind of nipped it in the bud. He thought, look, this isn't going to happen anymore. You know, they're playing a different style.
Plan Bs. And like you said, everyone works for everyone. There's just pace everywhere. They're closing down, high press. It's what we're usually doing. But like they've got spark, they've got energy. They look scary.
Yeah, they do look scary.
It's really hard to break them down. Really hard. Previously, you could say, well, they're going to attack you, but we're going to get chances. Now, you're not really getting many chances against them now.
John Stones. Look at John Stones. I never saw that coming.
And Laporte came back into the team on Saturday. And Laporte, that's the first game he's played in ages. And he
was a key player when they were winning the titles before us.
Well, he basically, he didn't give Son or Kane much at all, really.
There's a lot of things you could say about City, but like Attica said, I agree with him. This season they could do a lot of damage in the cups, especially in the cups, the big cups as well. They could do a lot of damage, and not only that, what you guys need to realize that there's a lot of players coming back from injury. That's what people don't even understand. There's De Bruyne, there's Aguero. I haven't seen
who's De Bruyne.
Fernandinho, you know what I mean? There's a lot of players to come back as well. So they are frightening.
I'll say the question is, how do you fit those guys in now? Where would you fit in Aguero if Gundogan and Foden are playing down the middle now?
Yeah,
and they don't really play with the striker anymore. Even Jesus, it's hard to fit him in.
What headache to have? That's an awesome headache to have. Where do I put De Bruyne?
But before last season, everyone was like, they're not creative enough without De Bruyne. Yeah. But how long has De Bruyne been out for? I can't remember, about 3 months or something, or since December.
I think it was a knee injury or something. They said it was a knee injury or something like that. Let me read Rich's thing, guys. Wouldn't mind Fulham staying up. We've had some decent games with them. Yeah, Fulham's excited. I like watching Fulham. I mean, it's not like Burnley, you know what I mean? But I like watching Fulham. I think Fulham should. I tipped them to go down, but the way they're done over Everton the other day, I have to change my mind, man. They're looking pretty good. Man. I hope.
And they came to Spurs and completely outplayed Spurs.
Were they that good, Attica?
Yeah. I mean, Spurs took the lead, and then it looked like Mourinho was pushing them back, but I think Fulham were pushing Spurs back, rather than Spurs just sitting back. And Fulham created a lot of chances, and probably they were unlucky to come away with just 1-1.
They literally have players that everyone gave up on, innit? You've got like Lookman, what's his name? Again from Chelsea? Loftus-Cheek,
all these
players, all these players that no one wanted anymore.
Mitrovic, and all these guys, Well, Lookman's actually pretty useful. Lookman is very useful.
Yeah, he's good, man. Very direct.
Yeah, listen, mate. At the end of the day, teams like that, you got to give them credit. At the beginning of the season, as I remember, they were struggling. I think they were bottom of the league at one stage, and they couldn't get out of it. But somehow, some way, Parker has found a way to play football, and everybody was criticizing him. I remember they didn't think he was a good manager, but you got to give him credit, man. How he changed the team? They were conceding goals for fun, as I remember, and now they're just they look like a proper team now, and I can see them staying up. I honestly can see Fulham staying up this season.
They've got the momentum.
Huh?
They've got the momentum.
Yeah, they have, mate. Yeah. What do you guys think of Arsenal, guys? But Arsenal coming back now. I know you don't want to talk about it, Tika, but what do you guys think about Arsenal, man? They're coming back now, and they beat Leeds the other day. Aubameyang scored a hat trick.
About time he starts scoring.
Do you think Attica doesn't even want to speak about it, does he? But
I mean, about 10 games ago, we were so confident that firstly Arsenal in a relegation fight, and that Spurs were clearly going to finish above them. Now that would be pretty much the only thing I can take out this season if Spurs can just finish above Arsenal, because we're kind of slipping away from the top four, and there's a lot of teams that are stronger than Spurs.
Do you think Mourinho is going to stay if it keeps going like this?
I don't think Levy. I think Mourinho will stay. I think Levy will be the one with wielding the axe.
Yeah.
And even though Levy will have to pay about 15 million to terminate the contract.
Yeah.
That's cheap.
I think Levy will probably. Well, it's about 4 million a year. It's about 4.5 million a year or something like that. So
I'll give him 30 to run out the door right now. If I was.
I think I said this last week as well. Mourinho is very, very lucky that the Spurs fans, who are notoriously fickle, they're not in the stadium. Honestly, because I think it would be absolute carnage now.
Yeah.
The fans wouldn't accept it.
Right.
You know how Tottenham fans are. They even though we don't win trophies and we don't win many matches, they're just really, really, stubborn like that. They won't accept rubbish football. And
I feel it's strange, Attica. I mean, Spurs have spent a lot of money down the years. They've got a lot of exciting players down the years, but you still haven't got that success you're looking for, man. I feel for you guys. I swear, man. I don't hate Tottenham. I mean, Tottenham's Tottenham to me. Like I've always grown around Tottenham fans, but it's like you've been chasing success for so many years. No matter who's the manager, it's always the same outcome.
You're gonna end up making me cry on like.
It's true though, isn't it? It's always the same outcome, mate. It's always the same outcome, no matter who the manager is, and it's sad. Yeah. It's really sad, man.
It's almost like Spurs can't change anything, regardless of who they appoint, which players they sign, and maybe a lot of the Spurs fans will always blame Levy. I think Levy's a brilliant chairman, but he's not necessarily a football person. And that's the thing. In terms of securing a club and making them financially aware, he's probably the best at that. Because they haven't had any success and they're still one of the richest clubs in the world, consistent basis. They're always
but then the only manager that's ever got you like a Champions League final, you get rid of him the following season. That makes no sense.
I have to admit, when that decision was made, I thought it was the right decision. Actually, because he had lost a lot of the players in terms of his philosophy of always such a compact team and closing down players and the work rate. I think a lot of the players had given up on that and they weren't playing for him anymore. And that was really unfortunate because, you're right. Pochettino was probably one of the best managers we've had in donkey's years. But
sometimes they were comparing it with like he hasn't won anything as a manager and all that stuff. That's why they weren't too serious about him as a manager. I said, but they're playing good football. Champions League final. It's just unfortunate you met Liverpool in the final. Who were informed that at the time as well. They were hungry. They were hungry because of the season before they lost to Real Madrid because of a crazy goalkeeper. But and then they came back and they beat Tottenham. But you never see Tottenham in the Champions League final, and the guy did it. They actually did it, and the next season he just got sacked, and it was kind of weird. I found it weird, man. Everything takes time, everything takes time, and you need to get the right players in position for you to actually challenge. And unfortunately, Tottenham don't give him the finance for that. And I don't know what Mourinho is going to do because you haven't got the finance to fund the type of players he wants either.
Too much dead wood. Dead wood. That's why Pochettino left. Because the standards he got you to, and so nearly winning the title and the Champions League, and then people expect that the next season, and he just had a lot of players and the morale at the time, even your big stars up front, big Harry Kane and Son, they were low on confidence as well.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say with Pochettino, he made a lot of brave decisions when he was allowed to. Like when he first came there was 3 strikers in the team. A free striker in the squad. There was Adebayor, Soldado, and a young kid that no one had heard of called Harry Kane. Yeah. And what he did straight away, he sold Adebayor and Soldado, And everyone's like, hold on, we've only got one striker left. And he's going, yeah, don't worry, I know he's good enough. And everyone's like, all right, yeah, he's promising, but, can we just rely on him? And, that was a decision that was made, amazing decision. And look how it turned out.
Yeah.
So he made a lot of brave decisions, and then it got to a stage where Levy wanted to take it in his direction and said, well, let's just work with the players we got. And I think Pochettino wanted to take it in a different direction. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
People will probably blame Levy for that.
Brendan Rodgers would have been perfect for you.
Yeah, I think so. Rodgers has that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Rodgers has that philosophy that probably would have suited us, but exciting play, but also working with younger players and bringing players through the system as opposed to just spending loads and loads of money. Rodgers has spent a bit of money, but not really. He's worked with what he had. Like players like Harvey Barnes and Maddison. Harvey Barnes came through the system, but Maddison cost what, like 10 million or something?
Exactly.
Now he's one of the best players in the Premier League.
Madison's up
with come from Berlin.
Oh yeah, he did. But it didn't cost a lot, did he? He didn't cost a lot.
No, I don't think it cost a lot.
Burnley's like, we don't like the way we play, mate. He was disrupting that easy defending team. Like, we don't like players that dribble, so they got rid of him.
That's what Rich said. Not heard of the team beating Bayern. Bayern is going to be unbeatable, probably. Probably City can challenge them this season in the Champions League. Hopefully they get each other soon. You know what I mean? So one of them can get out. I don't know about Bayern Munich. I don't know how well they're doing in Germany, but
they're playing tonight. Yeah, they're playing tonight. Let me check.
They just won the World Club Championship, didn't they? They're taking over Liverpool's position now, haven't they?
Oh, they're losing 3-1 at home to Arminia Bielefeld.
Is that in the league?
Yeah, Bundesliga. Yeah.
Wow.
I think they can afford to, though, can't they?
I know. I'm going down the league. Yeah, I can't keep speaking about Liverpool all the time, so I'm too depressed anyway. What you guys think of? What you guys think of West Ham? Is West Ham the real deal this season? Are they going to be like challenging for the top 4? Are they going to be doing the business? Like, can they get into the top 4 and challenge for that position? Sorry. Any views?
Well, they're doing it at the moment, aren't they? But it's the last 10 games, isn't it? Usually, where you've got like a chance if you're up there.
Yeah. Faisal?
Yeah, West Ham, man. The way I see it, they haven't got a squad. They've got like a really good starting 11. If any of them get injured, there's certain players like Cresswell. People don't realize how good that guy is. Like,
he is good.
Majority of their goals come from him. I mean,
he's very good, man.
He gets injured. There's no replacement.
Fabian.
I think Moyes, he's really got. He feels he's got a point to prove. So he had a couple of big jobs. It just didn't work out for him, and now he thinks this is his moment to actually, come back to where the level of respect he was at. He had at Everton. For him, it's turned into a great opportunity, hasn't it?
Listen, a lot of people underestimating him. I think that's his second spell at West Ham, isn't it? That's his second spell. And hi, Dad. Who's out there? Someone just wrote, "Hi, Dad." Who's he talking to? Me?
He's got a son out there. Fozzie, you got a son. You're not telling us.
I don't even know.
It's my son. It's my son. It's my son.
Oh yeah.
Awkward.
Awkward. Yeah. So a lot of people underestimated Moyes, and you know what? As much as I hate the guy, I hate the teams he managed. I respect him for coming back to West Ham and doing what he's doing, because nobody gave him a chance. And now look at what he's doing. Because everybody wants these foreign managers style, foreign style managers and all that. But he came back and he proved everyone wrong. And now look at West Ham; they're actually in the top 4 people, on the top 4, ahead of Liverpool as well. So you got to give the guy credit. Like Attica said about Man City when they played Liverpool, you got to give them credit. Yeah. So I think he's a good manager, man. You got not many British managers are around, but he's doing well. Yeah. He's doing well.
West Ham Spurs on Sunday as well, by the way.
Yeah.
West Ham Spurs, a huge game, because for them that's their cup final. Jesus. For them that's their cup final. It really is. So it's a huge game. Yeah. Spurs have to not lose that anyway.
Guys, I've enjoyed this, man. So just hang on a second, yeah? Just hang on a second. Let me take a minute. Hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in. By the way, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment on the live chat. We're gonna do some more stuff like this in the future. So please tune in and enjoy our live streams in the future. We're bringing some more contents like this, and we're not gonna stop. So thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. See you everyone. Take care, everyone.